In today's day and age, cancel culture is often looked down upon as many believe it does not provide the individual the space to grow and learn from the past. However, there are celebrities who are still living their lavish lives after their disturbing pasts have been revealed. Hello everyone, I'm Melanie with InformOverload, and today we are going to be discussing our top 10 problematic celebrities that don't deserve forgiveness. Before we begin, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But before we start, some of the topics discussed today may be sensitive to some viewers. For our number 10, we have Elvis Presley. 14 will get you 20 was his one-liner he said throughout his whole life. Although he has undeniable talent when it comes to music, that doesn't excuse him for his behavior. The king of rock went for teenage girls and often preferred those who were untouched, if you know what I'm saying. Many of these girls were told by Elvis from a young age that they were the love of his life, which some still believe to this day. Latita Kirk, who was his nurse through the 1970s, has said that she saw so many teenage girls brought into his mansion in Tennessee by his entourage that she lost count. According to her, DJ George Klein would bring teens for Elvis to check out and claims it was like a revolving door, that she didn't even learn their names because it was way too much. Often they would look for young fans and pick one that was pretty and invite her to meet their idol. Kathy Tatum was one of these girls they picked out in 1969, and Elvis was 34 while she was much younger. He even promised to marry her if she waited a few years until he can get a divorce, but Kathy realized he would lose interest in her when she was no longer a teen. There are also so many girls who have had past relations with Elvis that have come forward that this video would be hours long, so we will move on to the next. And for number 9, we have Woody Allen. This filmmaker, actor, and comedian has spent over 6 decades in this industry. However, he was accused of SA by his adopted daughter Dylan Farrow in 1992, but 2 investigators apparently cleared him. But Dylan reiterated the charge in 2014 and was supported by her brother Ronan. Before the allegations were presented, allegedly, Woody has been in therapy for his behavior towards Dylan with a child psychologist. He also has another adopted daughter named Soon Yi, who his ex Mia Farrow raised from a young age of around 7. And in 1991, when he was 56 and Soon Yi was 21, they began a relationship. A year later, Mia Farrow found images of Soon Yi in Woody's apartment, and these of course were not innocent photos. Woody blamed Mia for coaching Dylan to say these things against him as he continues to deny these claims. The HBO documentary called Allen v. Farrow was made public in 2021 as it showcased footage from 1992 from when Mia recorded Dylan at the age of 7 at the time, discussing what Woody has done to her. Woody and Soon Yi released a statement after this episode aired, and they were not happy. For number 8, we have Jared Fogle. He was Subway's spokesman between 2000 and 2015 as he rose to fame, after he shared his story on how he lost 245 pounds by eating from the sandwich franchise. Subway saw this as an opportunity to have Jared as their spokesman, which was proven to be a great success as his estimated worth during his prime years was around $15 million. He was seen as such a good, healthy role model that he started his own foundation called the Jared Foundation, and his goal was to raise awareness about healthy eating and childhood obesity. In 2007, a journalist named Rochelle Herman Walron told police how she was concerned after Jared made comments to her about middle school-aged kids. The police told her to save text and call between them, and that's exactly what she did for the next 4 years. She caught evidence of him asking her to install a hidden camera in her child's room, but apparently the FBI couldn't pursue a case against him because they needed more substantive evidence. However, he would be raided in 2015 after the executive director of his foundation, Russell Taylor, was arrested for having images that made him and Jared guilty, and finally both men were sentenced to jail. And for number 7, we have Armie Hammer. This actor was faced with allegations that were extremely alarming. At least 3 women accused him of SA and even cannibalism in 2019. Effie Angela was the first woman to come forward with these claims and even shared on her Instagram stories messages she received from Armie's account that hinted at cannibalism and SA fantasies. Her report was enough to spark an LAPD investigation into Armie. Courtney Bujovic and Paige Lorenz were two women who shared details of their relationship with the actor, and they were also very concerning. Courtney has also had audio recordings and photographs taken to back up her claims that were presented in the 2022 documentary film titled House of Hammer. His messages are definitely too graphic to share on here, but a quick Google search and you'll find screenshots of messages Armie allegedly sent to these girls, and they will make your stomach turn. For number 6, we have Danny Masterson. This actor was on That 70s Show alongside Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. In 2017, 3 women filed SA allegations against him, which caused the LAPD to investigate. Although Danny, through his agent, denied these accusations, a few months later, a 4th victim came forward, which caused Netflix to fire him from the comedy series The Ranch. A few weeks following, a 5th woman came forward with similar stories, and he was ultimately dropped as a client by United Talent Agency. In June of 2020, he was charged with 3 counts, and he pleaded not guilty a year later. During the hearing, the 3 women discussed how the Church of Scientology employees tried to stop them from reporting Danny to the police. And in September of this year, he was sentenced to 30 years to life, which means he may be eligible for parole after serving 25.5 years, or he may be held in prison for life. For number 5, we have Drake Bell. He rose to fame after starring in Drake and Josh and multiple other Nickelodeon shows. Well, he has now relocated to Mexico and rebranded his last name from Bell to Campana, which is the Spanish word for bell. So why did he move and change his last name? Well, for no good reason, that's for sure. In 2020, his ex-girlfriend Melissa Lingfeld accused him of harming her during their 3-year relationship, and also accused him of concerning behavior when it came to young girls. And at the time, he denied these allegations, but a year later was arrested in Ohio on charges relating to attempting endangering of a child. A 15-year-old had an established relationship with Drake years prior and attended his concert in 2017. Police found Drake had sent messages to this girl before the concert, and the messages aren't innocent. He ended up pleading guilty to both charges, and the first legal struggle he faced was in 2009. And for number 4, we have Chris Brown. Many people are still confused why this man has a career because of his history when it comes to harming people, especially women. In 2012, he violated his restraining order, and a year later was arrested once again after getting into another physical altercation. In 2015, he allegedly hit a man after getting into a verbal altercation that turned physical in Las Vegas, and honestly, there was so much on him that I can't fit them all. But one incident that is important to note is in 2016, his ex-manager Mike G sued him. Mike was first hired by Chris to help build his image back up after the incident with Rihanna, but according to the lawsuit he filed, he claims Chris attacked him. Although I didn't even list half of the legal issues he's gotten into, I'm sure you're able to recognize why he's problematic and continues to cause controversy. And for number 3, we have O.J. Simpson. This former football player, actor, and broadcaster has been accused but proven innocent after a very controversial verdict. After the majority of the public believed he was guilty when it came to the death of his wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Not only was he not convicted, but he even released a book titled If I Did It. And there are some interesting video clips of him which definitely don't make him look innocent. But he was found liable for both the passing of his wife and friend in a civil lawsuit in 1997. He's also been charged with banditry and abduction, but was recently spotted looking frail and limping in Las Vegas. In our number 2 spot, we have Roman Polanski. This film director was made popular by his movies such as Rosemary's Baby and is continuing to direct movies even to this day, following his horrible past. In 1977, he pleaded guilty due to a plea bargain after being arrested for drugging and doing unthinkable things to a 13-year-old. But in 1978, after learning the judge was planning on rejecting his plea deal and instead giving him a prison term instead of probation, he fled to Paris. More than one instance occurred as multiple women accusing Polanski for the same thing he did to the 13-year-old, and all these women claimed this occurred while they were in their teens as well. There's even a 2008 documentary titled Roman Polanski Wanted and Desired, which focuses on his SA cases. And in our number 1 spot, we have Dan Schnider. This television producer and screenwriter made millions for Nickelodeon as he created shows like iCarly, Zoe 101, Victoria, Sam and Cat, and The Amanda Show, just to name a few. While his shows may have been entertaining for young viewers at the time, many can't help but to realize all the red flags of how he portrayed these actors and actresses on his shows. A quick Google search will show you multiple clips that are disturbing, and he often didn't hide his gross behavior, as he would tweet on his social media accounts for his shows such as Sam and Cat, asking fans, who were majority very young, to tweet photos of their feet if they were excited for new episodes. Jeanette McCurdy, who plays Sam and iCarly and Sam and Cat, released a book calling someone the creator, which many believe is Dan Schnider, as she details all the harmful behavior she faced while being a childhood actress. There is so much proof and disgusting details surrounding him that ultimately caused Nickelodeon to pay Dan $7 million to leave the company due to multiple complaints against his behavior that were filed from the staff. The Deadline also reported Schnider for years have been under a cloud of suspicion over how he treated some of the young stars on his show. Danielle Monet, who plays Trina in Victorious, has also allegedly felt some scenes were too suggestive for the show and felt the same way about some of the cast's outfits. It's upsetting to see those many admired and looked up to have actually caused life-altering issues for those they've harmed. I mean, I love the shows Dan Schnider created when I was a kid, but now it is too disturbing to even watch some of the episodes. I want to know if there's any celebrities you believe don't deserve forgiveness, so feel free to share your opinions down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.